we are. We are recording and transcribing. Reading those transcriptions is a whole new level of embarrassment.
I bet.
I don't think I make one full sentence ever.
Kind of like autocorrect.
Anyway, well, let's do this. Call the meeting to order. Roll call. Mike.
Aye.
Amy.
Here.
And I'm here. Go through the full board is in attendance. Adoption of the agenda. Somebody wants to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
I second the motion.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye or just wave.
Aye.
Aye.
We approve the agenda. Minutes. I think they were perfect.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from March 8th, 2023.
I second that.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Are you in favor, Mike?
Say again?
Are you in favor of approving the minutes?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Aye.
Cool, cool. Okay, we need to review the procedures for the handling of electronic participation. According to House Bill 5002, passed during the 2020 session of the Utah Legislature, I make the following statement in my capacity as the chair of the Board of Trustees of TUID, that we convene and conduct this meeting electronically without a proper anchor location. So once you got your office set up, Ray and John, can we make that the anchor location, or is that too small?
Oh, does it have to have, oh, so it would have to have room for people to come in?
Yeah.
So there would be yeah, probably won't. We could do the anchor location as the room upstairs, can't we, Amy? The conference room of the lodge.
I mean, yeah, it's available.
Yeah, that'd be great. And I'm not expecting big crowds, but
I mean, they used to get like 4 or 5 or 6, but I mean, we plan on putting a couch in that office, but that's not really going to be conducive, I don't think. So we might do the conference room if that's not objectionable.
Yeah.
The internet's pretty good there. Wi-Fi.
Let's do that then. Do you think you'll be ready next month to do the thing?
Yes.
Cool.
Right, John?
Yeah, I think so, right. I think that's reasonable. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Which brings to the point then, the Board of Trustees will be appointing a district clerk, or are we going to leave it as is? As I think Mike was running that show from the beginning,
I
but
think Mike is the treasurer.
that's right.
So he can't be the clerk. I was thinking one of you could be the clerk.
Yeah, I was thinking that John, since he's going to be more familiar with all the TUID operations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would be up to you. If John is willing to do that, then I'm completely good with that. Do we need to I don't even know. How do you appoint? Does that have to be in open session?
I'm not familiar with that process, Alexa.
I think you have to nominate, somebody has to nominate somebody and then you vote.
Yeah, maybe we should next month go through all the positions and announce them in open meeting. Meantime, we can find out how that actually works.
Are you talking about for the district clerk?
For the district clerk and the treasurer and the public records officer, and I think there are a couple of positions that need a name attached to it.
Okay.
I think we voted for you, Mike, to be the treasurer, so that's
Yeah,
on like
done.
our very first meeting.
They did. It was Mike as the treasurer and you as the chair, Alexa. I
Yeah.
think it was just somebody made the nomination on the board, and then you voted and then adopted it.
Yeah. Yeah, let's put the clerk on the nomination of the clerk on the agenda for next time. Hey, Dave. You are the only member of the public who is on this meeting. So if you want to speak, you have 3 minutes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Is that a no thank you or a yes thank you?
Oh, nope. I was just tuning in. So
Okay, good. Glad to have you.
thanks.
Next item on the agenda is the board report. I have some ideas about what to talk about. I think all members of the board went on a tour of the facilities last week. I was the only member of the board for whom everything was new. Now, I got way more information than my brain could process all in one day. So I want to thank Ray and John for, not John, because you weren't even there, Tim, for dragging us around and clarifying, and also all the other TUID staff or North Lake Powell staff that facilitated that. As we voted on last meeting, we drafted an agreement that was generally along the lines of what was presented at last board meeting. We all agreed. We sent that off to our attorney, and we got comments from the attorney back just 5 minutes before the meeting. So just from glancing through them, nothing will change the agreement in any substantial way. So I think we're on track to get the management agreement signed in the coming week. Then we're official. The effective date of the agreement was April 1st, and I'm working as if it's effective right now. Is that you all's understanding as well?
Yes.
And
Yes.
any other board members have anything to report? Mike?
Not really anything new. Other than the tour was great. That was really appreciate Ray and Amy hosting us. And it was really good.
Amy?
Dave?
Nothing new. Just nothing new.
Okay, good. That's good.
Yeah.
Not interim anymore. The manager update. Ray,
Yes, ma'am.
you sent some text. I suggest that we just add that text to the public meeting, open record, whatever that's called, that state website. And we're all done.
Did you want to
I
go
think-
over any of that at all?
Yeah, that'd be great. Just if you can just.
Yeah, there's a couple
Okay.
things that require just a small explanation. So obviously, number one, John's here all the way from Greenbow, Alabama.
Yay. Maybe that's why I just said you all. I was like, where did that come from? That's not what I was taught in school or how people speak in Utah.
So, yeah, in the last couple weeks, we've had a couple small brownouts, and it's been attributed to Gen 3 not wanting to shut down when trying to transfer to Gen 2. They've just lasted like 20 seconds. But the Cat Tech is scheduled to be here, and I don't know the date, but John, you do. Do you know what date that is? That he's coming to? He's going to do. If I'm correct, he's going to do the full load bank and assess the equipment and clear the codes and do a walkthrough and kind of go through everything with you.
Yeah, it's still tentatively the 15th of this month. The tech and Anthony, I'm trying to think of Anthony's last name with them. So two guys. Yeah, that we can cover that more in depth. And yeah, Dana I spoke with him about a lot of that this morning. And like you said, Ray, he mentioned the communications that he doesn't understand it quite yet. So that's some of the stuff we'll go over with those guys when they show up here in person too. And number two, obviously not only understand it, but get any sort of access to it, to look at it and, either read it or change anything. I think Dana mentioned it's different than Cummins because, and again, that may change. It's probably a lack of education. Dana mentioned that when the CAT generator throws a code, the only way to clear it is to shut the generator down completely. So in previous experience with Cummins, you can clear that code with the generator running typically too. So we'll have questions for those guys along those lines, that are technical, and yeah, hopefully we get a good education. But I'm going to call Anthony tomorrow because he was going to get me remote access a while back, and he hasn't, which has been fine up until now. But now he does need to get me that so we can get in there and look at that data too. So, but anyway, still the 15th is still the tentative date. And if he changes that, when I speak with him, I'll update you guys, to get a solid date with everything.
Okay. There is some remote access to those generators on that laptop too, John.
Okay.
And there's passwords for that programmer in the laptop as well, but it'll send you email notifications and different things when they shut down or when I don't know the extent of what you can assess with that program, but I know it does give you alerts and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. No, we'll definitely make sure we understand that, top to bottom, what it can and can't do, and make sure we know what it's capable of.
Maybe as an aside, I'm a little worried about how the whole operation depends on an ancient laptop.
Yeah, it's pretty old.
And that can just go poof at a moment's notice.
I was going to suggest that we definitely get something different and new.
Yeah. And think of some backup.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Oh, I have one little question. What exactly is a brownout?
The power just goes out briefly. It's not out for a long period of time.
Oh, it just kind of flickers.
Yeah, like 20 seconds or less than a minute, really. It's just out. And then the other gen will pick it up and start cranking.
Cool.
So Dana has been shopping around that Gen 1, the C15. And he did send me a text this morning from a dealer for it. And they just simply said that, they prefer a lower hour enclosed unit. So I think that might be what we're going to be up against, is trying to find someone that sees value in that generator. But we're just in the infancy of looking into it. So that doesn't really mean anything right now. Last month we picked up the MQ. We do have it on hand. I think I already told you we placed the Rhino Club car and the small Kubota back into service. They're now operational.
Mhm.
Sewer line behind the properties filled in from flooding. The day fuel tank has been repaired and it now works effectively. But so we got to try to figure out Mike Palmquist is going to go up there because we do have the compliancy issues with tank 1 and tank 2.
Mhm. Is that a new thing or just something that we never did or?
No, it's new this year.
Uh.
They kind of put us on alert about what, John, you were still here like 3 years ago that it was
Yeah.
coming. I
Yeah,
think
they didn't know
do it
when,
back-
but
yeah, I think they were going to do it back in 20 and I think COVID delayed it, but now they're requiring compliancy by the end of June, which is no big deal for what you guys have or what TUID has going on. But we do have to go through the test, the line test, and there is, so that day tank is the one that presents a question. I don't know if that needs to be tested. If those lines from the day tank are going straight to the generators, I think we might be able to not have to make that one compliant. It is over 501 gallons, but if it sits on concrete or gravel and the lines feeding out of it are and into something else is above ground, then I think you can escape the compliancy, but we're still digging into that one. But the other two do have underground lines feeding the gin house, so they'll have to be compliant. We have the guy coming out on the 18th, and I can go into that in just a second. Locks at the landfill and other TUID properties have been changed. I did contact the county just today to let them know that, and he told me that the road signs for Tickaboo are in the back of his truck. So we're going to have a road sign at every intersection in Tickaboo for the first time and possibly, well, maybe forever.
Well, that's good. Good news.
So the line test for the above ground storage tank compliancy, he's coming April 18th. We do have the 2 tanks at 10,000 gallons each, correct, Mike? They're both 10,000.
Yes.
1 tank inside, which was the day tank I was talking about. So we got to fill out an application and there will be a processing fee of $250. We have to join the PST fund or take private insurance. So I reached out to the Utah Local Governments Trust, and it is, so it's not on your insurance. It's not on the insurance for TUID presently because there's never been a need for it, but they can add it on there for $400 annually, and that protects you up to $1 million of coverage. It meets all the state government requirements for above ground storage tanks. So I believe, so they measure the PST measures the amount that you get charged based on the throughput. In other words, the amount of gallons that comes out of those tanks per year. If you're and it also has to do with if you're a marketer or non-marketer. Well, you're a non-marketer because you don't sell that fuel to the public. So the amount is 70,000 gallons. So Mike, I don't know what we run through those tanks in a year. If it's more than 70,000 gallons, then it's $150 per tank. So it would be $300 to just join the PST fund. If it's less than 70,000, then it would be $450 per tank or $900 annually to insure them through the PST. And then, of course, your other option is to just add it on to the Utah Local Government Trust insurance plan that you presently have at $400 annually for everything. So it's really sixes. You might say, I think that you run more than 70,000 gallons.
That's what I was going to say. It probably be really close because, we're, with the MQ, that might change. We might lower us down, but with the current gen sets we're running, we'd be 70,000 gallons.
So then it'd be 300 to go through the PST fund or 400 through the insurance company. And we can change that every year depending on what you want to do.
There's probably some some merit to having everything with one insurance company. That way you don't end up with two insurance company bickering over who's going to cover what.
That and the biggest thing is when you go into the PST fund, then there's another whole set of compliancy stuff that we have to do, a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
And so it would be a lot easier just to call up the insurance company that we have and just add it and just avoid all of those fees.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys don't need yet another thing that you need to measure and report.
No. And so that concludes my reports. If y'all have any questions, I'm all ears. Tim, I don't know, Tim might have something on any of that as well that I missed.
No, I don't have anything to add on that, Ray.
Yeah.
It's really ironic. The other day when I was going or picking up my mail at the lodge, I was thinking, man, it'd be nice to have some new street signs. I wonder if the county would do that.
Yeah, so that came about back in February. The park rangers had a 911 call from an address that they couldn't find, and they went to Dana's house looking for that address, and he didn't know. And and they finally found the house, but everything was okay. They actually said no call came from that house. So I reached out to the county and told them that that's going to become an issue later. So David Dodds jumped right on it and ordered the signs. They just came in last week. So yeah, we'll have a sign at every single intersection from the gin plant all the way down to the end of the road in the village.
Good. It's good stuff.
Oh,
I think Amy's even going to run the excavator to dig the holes for the signs.
I think that's the end of our meeting. It's the end of our agenda, anyway.
Yeah, I don't see anything in old business, approved consent, or additional action items. So yeah, we're done.
Good. I will look at that at the comments from the attorney and see if I can piece that together in the contract, and then I will let you guys have a look at that. I'll make an initial judgment in to what extent we need to do what he tells us to do.
And
Yeah,
since I'm
I
sorry.
read through his comments and I didn't see anything really glaring. It looks like all good stuff we could put in there.
Yeah, just clarifications, and so I'll put that in. I don't think we need to pay him to do that.
Yeah.
But I do think this passed the attorney. I hope he's not going to charge us too much for it. Was a good one. So I'll just send that back around.
Okay.
Probably beginning next week. Or if they leave me alone here, I can do it before the weekend.
Madam Chair, there is one other issue. You back in February, you and the board set up the dates for 3 months, and now we're without dates, and we'll be posting the meeting information and stuff like that on the. We'll start taking that over. John and I will work through that starting in May, but we don't have dates for May, and I don't know if you want to go May, June, or July, or just post something for May right now.
I don't know. Do we still think we want to meet every month?
We do have dates actually.
Oh.
But I don't think we need to meet every month, personally. But
Maybe.
I had May 10th at 5:30. Nothing for June.
Are we expecting anything that needs our attention in
I was gonna
formal
maybe-
board setting?
Maybe suggest we just schedule one for June and then go for, what would it be? September, October would be the third quarter. and just start going quarterly.
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. If something comes up, we can always schedule a meeting in between.
Yeah, let's do June, September, and then December, and we might have to schedule some meetings in between for budget time or something, but
Yeah.
So do you want to go ahead and come up with that date in June, or do you want to just wait until?
No.
it's like June 7th is a Wednesday.
Yeah. I can do June 7th.
I believe I'm clear.
Yep, I'm good.
I will just move. And then,
So are we going to keep the one in May on the 10th?
I just moved it to June. I thought we were.
We did. Okay. Okay.
I thought we were saying that we were giving it 2 months.
Yeah, go.
And that'll give us a chance to figure out a lot of stuff about budget and rates and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that might take a little
Yeah.
thought and work to get that right.
Okay, so skip May, June 7th, skip July, skip August, and then the first Wednesday in September, September 6th.
Yeah. Let me. Okay.
Hey, Ray, board, is this going to affect your talking about the clerk role? That was the point of the main meeting, I thought.
Mm, I wish I come. Is that like an official thing that needs to be on the agenda?
I don't know if it does or not, Alexa. You know, I guess
How about we appoint an interim clerk until June, right now?
okay.
I
And then
suppose I've kind of been doing those functions.
I think the clerk heads the meeting as well, don't they?
That's
I didn't hear that, Mike.
that's the way it was. Yeah, that's the way it was before. The clerk did the meeting.
Takes the minutes, leads the meeting.
Mm.
I've just been doing the minutes. Alexa and Mike have been leading the meetings.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we should just offline read our book and.
And if we need to have a meeting, we could schedule a special meeting and do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just leave it status quo and then just make the appointment on June the 7th.
Yeah, I think that should work.
Do we kind of have that position in mind?
It's one of these formal positions that you have to have if you want to have a district that's in the little book.
Sure, but do we have a person in mind to fulfill that role, or should it just be John or Ray or Tim? Or...
I think Ray's John, and I think that makes sense if he's going to be managing and kind of knows the day-to-day very well. That'd probably be a good position.
Yeah, I had this weird idea that I was going to just that page with the information that I needed would spontaneously flop open in front of me, and then of course it didn't. Yeah, let's just muddle on for the next 2 weeks, 2 months, and I was thinking, my thought was, Amy, that you could be the record officer and either Ray or John could be the clerk. I think then we have a full complement of the mandatory positions.
I'd like to make the motion. It's John, even though I can't make a motion.
I'm good with that. Yeah, it makes sense, like Mike said, and I think that would be a very natural thing to do. So I would be good with that. What you guys know of the records? Somebody else other than me has to be the officer in case of a appeal of denial for a record or something like that. Probably will never happen, neither a denial or appeal, but it still has to be set up that way.
Yeah.
Okay, then you can kind of tell me what I need to do.
Hopefully nothing. And I think it's like if somebody files a grandma request and the organization has to produce the records, and if whoever or formally deny it, and if the requester is not happy, there has to be another person he can talk to.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm fully intending to make this thing such a transparent organization that people can just find all the documents they can possibly want on the open public notice website. And that way we can just point them there and we'll never have to worry about grandma requests.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Agree.
are we adjourning?
I'll make a
Need a
motion. to adjourn the meeting.
I second the motion.
Everybody in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Good. Well, thank you all.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Yep.
All right,
you too.
y'all. See you
care.
in June.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
All right.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.